Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Monday Mindset. Yes, working on our mindset to be able to start getting closer to the things that we want to achieve in life or in our business if we are in the entrepreneur journey. So welcome back. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. So let's start talking a little bit about what is the main reason that is getting so many people stuck and not being able to move forward. So if you're watching this in any of the platforms, just write, if you can, #live, that would be awesome. Or if you're watching replay, #replay, so that we know you're there, you're checking it out. If you have any questions, just let us know. So welcome back again. Thank you very much. We got some people jumping in on Zoom. So here we go. I'm just moving some screens around. Hey, hi, Ramana. Hi, Shan. Thank you for stopping by. So let's get going. One of the main reasons why so many people are stuck has to do with the lack of dealing with their emotions. Listen to that again. The lack of dealing with their emotions. Since we were kids, whenever we felt negative emotions, we were taught that it was wrong. So when we were angry, we were told not to be angry. When we were scared, we were told not to be scared. If we were grumpy, we were told not to be grumpy. So each time we manifested any type of negative emotions, they were repressed. So imagine, what do you think is going to happen if each time we encounter a negative emotions and we are told that is wrong? What do you think you're going to start learning from that? That emotions are good, negative emotions are good, or negative emotions are bad? Type in the chat. What do you think about this? Do you feel that we're going to learn whenever they tell us those type of things, that emotions are good or are bad? Write down good or bad according to what you think for what I'm saying. Yeah. What do you think? Bad. There you go. Thank you very much. So yes, the truth is that whenever we were taught as kids that feeling negative, feeling angry, feeling grumpy, feeling scared was wrong, we started repressing that. Thank you very much, Carmela there. Hi, Peter. Hi, Mary. Welcome back. So let me share one screen with you guys 1 second, and it's going to make much more sense. And I know a lot of you, we have talked about this, but it's great to come back and see these things, right? So give me 1 second. We're sharing the screen. So what you can see here is what we call the comfort zone and the expansion of the comfort zone. Okay, we got this comfort zone on the far left of the screen, that is feel safe and in control. The next zone you're going to fall in as you start moving forward in your life in whatever area is going to be the fear zone. Maybe is finding a new job, maybe is getting more clients, maybe is increasing our prices, starting a new program, whatever it is, changing a relationship, starting a relationship, whatever it is, buying a new car, maybe you're going to bounce into, you're going to hit the fear zone, because as the comfort zone expands, we're going to go into the fear zone. And if we look in the fear zone, one of the first things that we see here, be affected by other opinions, of course, but find excuses. And this is what we normally call procrastination, overwhelm, lack of drive, lack of focus. And we put all these names to fear. Look at again. Yes, whenever I'm feeling fear, I'm going to procrastinate. Whenever I'm feeling fear, I'm going to fall maybe into perfectionism. Whenever I'm feeling fear, I'm going to fall into overwhelm. I'm going to fall into loss of focus, loss of clarity, loss of motivation, loss of drive. But all of those things that I just named are just the surface problems. The biggest problem here has to do with fear. Fear is what we fall into when we're doing something we're not used to, when you're doing something that is new. So if we don't know how to handle our emotions, when we, as we just confirmed in the text that I asked you guys, is going to be good or bad, the emotions, when we get negative emotions, like fear in this case, we're not going to know how to deal with them. One of the amazing things that one of my mentors taught me many years ago was, and I love it, and I keep doing this, sharing this with you guys, is fear is a good advisor but a very bad driver. Look at what I just said. Fear is a good advisor, but it's a really bad driver. Yes. What does that mean? That if you're trying to drive a car, right, through fear and letting fear kind of take over, you're going to make bad choices, bad decisions. You might not be even understanding what you're doing. How many times we fall into a situation where we reacted out of fear, and then we're like, oh, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. And I kind of start beating myself up because I made the wrong decisions. That has to do many times with the fear zone. So people would say, okay, Tommy, right? If I kick myself in the butt, if I push myself harder, maybe I'm going to go into the learning zone and maybe I'm going to end up in the growth zone. Yes, some people are able to move forward, but it's not exactly what you see here. Set new goals, yes. Conquer objectives, yes, people get that. Find purpose. They convince themselves that they have found their purpose, but most of the times they feel a disconnect inside of them because of this disconnection with their emotions. Again, if I'm feeling fear and I kick myself harder to move forward and face that fear by kicking myself, the problem is I'm disconnecting from myself. I'm creating a dissociation. If I create a dissociation, it's like people that think that, they don't have a hand and they don't use a hand anymore when they still have it. So they are in a disadvantage if they're not using their emotions, because they're there for a reason. The idea is to connect mind, heart together, thoughts and emotions together. So if we understand this process, it's going to make it much easier. So whenever I'm procrastinating, when I'm feeling overwhelmed, when I'm feeling something negative, I understand that there might be a negative emotion behind it. In this case, we're talking about fear. So what I need to start doing, guys, and I've talked about this over and over again, are the three basic questions. How do I feel? Why do I feel this? Exploring the different things that I feel. Why do I feel the different things that I feel? The story behind it. And then the beliefs behind that story. How does this make me feel about myself? So imagine I get to do this live and I feel scared, right? And I connect with that fear. Okay, I'm feeling scared. Scared of what? Of people judging me, of people criticizing me, of people don't like my accent, people don't like my face, people don't like my background, people don't liking something. So I don't do what I need to do. Maybe I don't do the live, right? So, okay, I'm scared of people judging and criticizing me. So how would it make me feel if people judge me or start criticizing me? I'm going to feel not good enough. Yes. So if I feel not good enough, that has to do with the belief. It has nothing to do with doing a live. The belief is back there. I am not good enough, right? And that belief is going to get triggered whenever I need to do something that is different, like, again, doing a live. So not being able to deal with the fear the correct way is what's getting you stuck. A lot of people, yes, are getting into the comfort zone back, because again, as this arrow points, as you can see this arrow over here, this arrow goes from the comfort zone to the growth zone. A lot of people start going through this arrow, fall into the fear zone. They say, no, go back. And they go back to the comfort zone. So they procrastinate, they postpone, they feel stress, they feel anxiety, and they get stuck back in the comfort zone. So the idea, guys, is to be able to face what is going on. Yes. So Romana asks me, right, but what is the truth that I'm still not good enough on sharing my message? Yes. The thing is, what the problem is I don't feel good enough because I had in my past experiences where that was quote unquote confirmed. Maybe I didn't get good grades at school. But let me address this, guys, to give you an idea of how the mind works. If I'm a kid and I'm not getting good grades, back in the days and even today, many parents feel like their kids are, not good enough, and they feel disappointed with their kids and things like that. But the truth is, even the education system today is broken, guys, because the truth, when we are little kids, we're not supposed to have grades. We should only have, like, if the kid was able to obtain, the minimum requirements to be able to get through the next, through the next grade, or not. That was it. You know what they do for my son's kids is they have like 3 columns in a report card, quote unquote. The report card is 3 columns, right? And they don't even say like, failed, normal, exceeded, whatever. No, it's just, their path. I don't remember how it says about it. I don't even think they have titles, but it's first column, second column, third column. First column is, at the start of the year, we are expecting the kids to be able to start developing these skills. As they move forward, we're expecting them to be able to develop these skills. And towards the end of the year, we're supposed to be able to have as many developed skills on the third column. And you know what? In some areas, my kids are still on the first column. Maybe in some, maybe in more, depending on one of my kids or the other, but they still made it through to the next grade. So they're not being graded as, F, D, C, B, A, and things like that. And it's not kind of pressure into them that they need to have A's or B's or things like that. What I kind of share with my kids is that they just have to have fun in school and learn, of course, don't get me wrong, but have fun, enjoy, yes, discover who they really are, what they truly like. And that should be school about in the young ages, don't get me wrong. As they start growing, it's okay to start introducing maybe some testing. My 10-year-old is starting to have some dictations and things like that, like testing, quote unquote, but there's not an F, a B, an A, or a C. What there is, did good or needs to do it again. Look at that, did good or needs to do it again. Something that I don't remember exactly, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. So the other day, my kid came there some time ago. My oldest came and said, "Hey, Dad, I didn't do well in dictation. Okay, let's stay down and practice so you can do better next time." The next day, he did it again and he nailed it. So it's like not punished, exactly as Roman is saying, not punished. So when we push ourselves to get results, guys, some people get results like that, don't get me wrong, but the problem is we're creating this dissociation, this disconnect. We're disconnecting from our emotions because we're running over them instead of saying, okay, what am I scared of? As I just said it, okay, I don't feel good enough. Why don't I feel good enough? Where could I have been exposed to situations? In my case, school, a lot, my parents too, but let's go back to school. So the education system is broken. They shouldn't be treating kids like that, punishing and not punishing, giving prizes, to kids that excel. Because the truth is, we are unique, guys. The truth behind the education system is that we're unique. The truth that should, in a way, change the education system, let's put it another way, is that we're unique. And the education system cannot score kids because as they are unique, it's impossible to score kids. Look at this again, what it just said. Kids are very good artists, maybe, and not good at dictation. So should they have an F, in dictation, right? And feel like crap about themselves and then taint everything around them as bad because, they're F in dictation? No, there should be another way. Do I really have what is the perfect way? No, I don't have the perfect way. What I have is bringing a new way. Because again, if we teach our kids from young ages that fear is bad, that you have to step over it, you need to ignore it, you need to repress it, you need to kick yourself in the butt, what you're actually doing again is getting rid of those emotions, covering them up. So again, what my mentor taught me, fear can be an advisor. But if you're repressing it, if you're not listening to it, you're not using it in your favor, so it's not advising you. Whenever I did rock climbing, I haven't done it for a while now, but whenever I did rock climbing and I went up, I don't know, 100 feet, 200 feet, 300 feet off a wall, I felt scared, guys. But that fear kept me checking the system, checking what I was doing so that I wouldn't make a mistake and even maybe fall down from that height. I have a friend of mine that he told me, I didn't realize what I was doing, but I was disconnecting from my fear. He did wrong a belay and he fell, I think it was like 100 feet, maybe a little bit less, maybe 60, 80, 100 feet. And he had several crushes in his column. He had some broken bones. He had several problems out of it. And he told me, Tommy, well, the problem is I felt overconfidence. I wasn't listening to my fear because I didn't allow it to coexist inside of me. I made a mistake and that made me fall from that height and break many of my bones. So again, fear can be an advisor. So we need to start learning to accept and let that fear coexist inside of us. Feel it, accept it, Yesterday, as you guys, I've shared some with you guys, I'm by the beach. I came back, I'm doing this live, I'm having one session, then I'm going to go back to the beach again. Yesterday, I was in the waves with one of my kids, the youngest, he's 8 years old, and he was telling me, "Oh, Dad, I'm scared." And I was holding his hand and say, "Hey, buddy, it's okay. What do you want to do? Do you want to move further back to the shore instead of getting deeper into the water?" And he said, like, "No, it's okay here." So I listened to his fear. I supported his fear. I didn't say, "Don't be scared." I told him, "Hey, it's okay to feel scared. Fear is telling you that this is something you haven't done before because we're getting deeper and deeper in the ocean and facing bigger and bigger waves." Right? For him, they're bigger. For me, they're pretty small. Don't get me wrong, but there's nothing wrong with that. So what I'm doing is slowly getting him closer to being okay with being with bigger and bigger waves. But if I crush his fear, telling him, "Don't be scared, I'm here to help you," whatever, I'm telling him to repress his emotions. And I don't want that, because when I'm around big waves, I'm scared. 5 days ago, guys, we had 3 people. One was very close to us, like in the next beach. There's different beaches and names of beaches. Now maybe they're, I don't know, a couple of 100 feet, maybe 500 foot, maybe 500 feet, one beach, and beside the other one there's another one, in the beach next to us. A guy ended up in the hospital and nearly died because a wave crushed him against the floor of the shore. There were very big waves, and I was there. I was trying to, I don't do surf, I do body surf. I surf with my body, the waves, right? And I love doing that. I really love it. I'm trying to get somebody, I have somebody that is here that has one of those drones that's going to try, when you have bigger waves, do that and have a video on that. And I get scared, guys. When I'm around those big waves, I get scared. A couple of last year, one of those waves grabbed me and put me down and took me. I normally have with swimming flops. I don't know how you call those, with the things to swim faster in water. I use those. It was the first time in 20 years that the wave took those flops off my feet. Never happened before. And I was scared, guys, and there was nothing wrong with that. This fear advises me when to take the wave, or maybe swim back and let that wave go ahead and not take me with, because many times the waves crush you into the bottom of the sea, or sometimes they just take you with you. So some waves break like this and some waves break like this. So I try to catch the ones that take me forward, not crush me to the bottom. So I get feared. There's nothing wrong with the fear. We got to embrace it, learn from it. Why is that fear there? Because I can get hurt. There's nothing wrong with having fear that is telling me, "Hey, Tommy, wait, you can get hurt." But a lot of people, again, when they start feeling fear, they repress it, they find excuses, they go back to the comfort zone. And this is why so many people are stuck in their life, because they're going back into the comfort zone because they're scared of accepting the fear. Look what I just said. They are scared of accepting their fear. They feel that fear is wrong, because we were programmed since childhood. I said it, I'm going to say it again, that fear is wrong. You're a coward. You are weak. People think and have associated that feeling fear is from the weak. Feeling fear is bad. So if I have associated that fear is bad, I'm going to go back into the comfort zone. Some, very few, are going to be able to kick themselves in the butt so hard and ignore the fear so much, they're going to go over it and try to go to the next. But the problem is, eventually they're going to have a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety or stress, either or, yeah, and or maybe like stress and anxiety. They can fall into overwhelm. They can fall into different problems, even burnout, because they're running over their fear. They're not listening. They're not connecting with themselves. Remember, this work is about connecting with ourselves, guys. So if you really want to be able to expand that comfort zone, expand it, and learn and grow, the first step, guys, the first step is to start recognizing the fear, accepting that it's there. There's nothing wrong with that fear. That fear is not bad, although we were trained to think that, as I was saying before. Fear is an advisor. It's telling me, "Hey, Tommy, you've never done this before, or this is getting more difficult. The waves are getting bigger. I'm asking for more money." Whatever it is, guys, it's just showing, I'm asking for my partner. I'm asking my partner for something. I want to ask somebody out. I want to tell my partner I don't want to be with her anymore, with him anymore. Whatever it is, we are not used to it. As we're not used to it, right? It's going to, in a way, make us feel fear. And if we don't deal with the fear the right way and identify what's the story behind the fear, what am I telling myself? It could be, again, as I was saying before to Romana, is I don't feel good enough. If I don't feel good enough, that's going to trigger fear, and fear is going to block me from doing things. Let me see here. I have a question from Peter. Yes. So now when we go back to the comfort zone, we experience more fear, right? The truth is, when you go back to the comfort zone, depending on the situation, you might or might not. Because look at this, and I love that you brought that up, and it is what I call the dance of fears. I'll talk more on that later, right? Well, we can start here a little bit more. We got some more time. So the dance of fear that I called, okay, Peter and the rest of people listening, we got the fear of doing and the fear of not doing. What does that mean? If I got to do my taxes and I'm scared of how much money I'm going to have to pay for my taxes, that is the fear of doing, the fear of getting a result that I don't want. So what do? I don't do it. I postpone maybe doing my taxes because I'm scared of how much money I'm going to have to pay the government. So I don't do it. That's procrastination out of fear. So I go back to a comfort zone. I feel less fear in that case. Okay, Peter, in that specific case, it reduces the fear. But look at this. What happens as we go closer to the date, the deadline that we have to present our taxes? I start getting fear of not doing. Because if I don't do my taxes, the government is going to put maybe, I don't know, they're going to charge me more because I have a late fee because I presented my taxes later. So I'm starting on my comfort zone. I start getting fear of not doing. Look at this. So fear of doing up here. Let's put it this way. Fear of doing up here. Yes. Fear of not doing down here. So I go back into my comfort zone. The fear of doing starts going down, and it kind of balances out there. Okay. But as I start getting closer to the deadline that I need to do it, my fear of not doing, look, guys, the fear of not doing starts going up, starts going up, starts going up. Fear of not doing. So suddenly, although I'm in my comfort zone, I'm very scared inside of my comfort zone, because if I don't do what I need to do, I'm going to be, I don't know, I'm going to get a letter from the IRS. I'm going to get a letter from wherever I'm in the country around the world telling me that I'm going to have, to pay extra whatever because I didn't present my taxes. So we need to understand the dance of fear of doing against fear of not doing. But when there's a deadline, the fear of doing is going to start coming up. And when it surpasses, it goes over the fear of doing, I'm going to take actions. But I'm going to ask you this, guys, and put in the chat. If I'm doing this dance of fears, fear of doing and fear of not doing, suddenly I'm starting getting fear of not doing my taxes, going up, going up, going up. And I get very scared that I need to do my taxes because the deadline is nearly there. Am I going to do this because I need to do it, or I'm going to do it out of fear? When I'm talking about the dance of fear, put down here in the chat if you think that I'm going to do it because I need to and I want to, or more because of fear of the consequences that's going to happen if I don't do it. Thank you, Shan. Fear. Exactly, guys. I'm going to do it out of fear. So if you think about this dance of fear, I'm going to ask you guys, whenever you're very scared and you're kind of fighting about doing something, not doing something, do you feel that is in a way using your energy? The dance of fear, is that taking energy out of you? Yes or no? Put it in the chat. Yes or no? Does fear in a way take energy off you? Yes. Thank you very much. Yes, guys. Fear starts draining you. If fear starts draining you, imagine you have this dance of fears inside of you. Doing or not doing, doing or not doing, doing or not doing. And there's big names out there. Even Tony Robbins, through his Dickinson method, he uses fear to get people to do stuff. So what he doesn't realize is the impact that that's going to cause on the person when they're doing things out of fear, because it's not out of love. They're doing it out of fear. So when Tony talks about love, he really doesn't walk his talk around love, around taking actions, being successful. Of course, he walks his talk. Don't get me wrong, guys. But around fear and self-love, wrong intention. Thank you, Shan. Yes, it's a wrong intention. So I'm doing it from the wrong intention. If I'm doing it from the wrong intention, it is not the best thing to do, and it takes away energy. And if it takes away energy, it drains me. If it drains me, eventually it's going to fall into burnout, exhaustion, or whatever mental problem. And then we're going to say, like, why did I fall into this? Why did I have a mental breakdown? I didn't do anything wrong to have a mental breakdown. Yes, buddy, you did everything wrong. You haven't been listening to your emotions, and eventually your mind just shut down. And this is what we need to understand. The mind eventually shuts down. And if it's not the mind, it's the body, guys. If it's not the mind, it's the body, or both. So if you want to stay away from nervous breakdowns, mental breakdown, even being with unease, yes, unease would be disease. Disease is disease altogether. So diseases, many of them are related with the mind. If we don't work on our mind, there are more chances that we can develop diseases because of the unease that we're going through in our mind starts presenting in our body. So going back to this, we need to start facing the fear that we're feeling whenever we're moving out of a comfort zone. Understand, stop, listen. Okay, I'm feeling scared. Why am I feeling scared? What am I feeling scared of? What is going on? Right? And listening, understanding, learning. Listening, understanding, learning. That is going to provide to yourself love, support, and understanding. Who here sometimes feel that they don't have love, support, and understanding? Type a 1 in the chat if you feel that sometimes you don't feel loved, supported, and understood. Type it in the chat, please. 1 in the chat if you have felt not supported, not loved, not understood. So it's very easy to see it on the outside, guys, when our partners, when our friends, when our family, they're not supporting, loving, or understanding us. So I'm going to ask you guys, are you loving, supporting, and understanding yourself? Now that I said this, whenever you feel fear, whenever you feel a negative emotion, do you stop and listen that emotion that you're going through, or do you fall into numbing it? Do you fall into doing something else to try to move away from this? I feel like this by myself, not from my partner. Exactly, by yourself. Okay, Romana, thank you for sharing. I fall into eating. Whenever I feel like this, I fall into eating. We look for ways to numb the pain, guys. It could be eating, it could be meditation, it could be affirmations, it could be anything. Anything we use to move away from the pain is a coping mechanism. So it's not good, of course. So we need to listen. So we're not supporting, loving, and understanding ourselves. We got to stop, see where we're not loving, supporting, and understanding ourselves. So we got to listen, understand, and learn from what we're going through. Listen, understand, and learn what we're going through. Okay, Mary, good that you do self-development, but remember, we got to be very careful because a lot of people, and I mean, it's you, Mary, they put a motivational video, right, to feel better. So they feel a little bit better, but it is very temporarily. We need to understand that, okay? Just to let you know, be careful with that because it's very easy to fall into that, into using personal development as a crutch to try to feel better when actually we need something else. We need to go deeper to identify what we're feeling bad. So I hope that makes sense, guys. We're going to end now the session here on Facebook. We're going to stay here on Zoom with the people that are part of the elite community. If you're wanting to learn more, if you want to have more time with me, spend some one-on-one, some laser coaching. We are doing some on Zoom. So if you're interested, just put down here link for elite membership. We'll get that to you and you can sign up for next time and join us on Zoom and be part of this community, get more out of it and get some help here. So thank you very much, everybody, for listening. I'm going to end now again, as I was saying. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Thank you for being here in the free community, and we'll stay in touch. See you on the next live, of course. So I'm going to stop live stream. Thank you very much, everybody. Here, Tommy Walker, the Mind Engineer. Have a great day.